So, uh, don't like this. All right, perfect. Hello, everyone. This is Andreas, Pop Culture Guy. Today, I'm here with two special people. Well, one special person, one person I know that he's been regularly here, and another special person. I'm happy he's here, so he could defend me from Jeff. But that's not the whole point here. We're family here. We're family. So today, um, we're doing a Beetlejuice, the 1988 film, directed by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Dom. Thank you, love your heart there, buddy, and the somebody, Alec Baldwin and Geena Davis. So made crossed around 75 million worldwide back in 88, so it was a huge success. Has a four-season cartoon show, ran from 1989 through 1991. I've been watching that. That's pretty cool. Plus, last Friday, we finally had a sequel. Of course, Beetlejuice. Uh, I seen the film. It's great. We're talking about the original. So, anyway, let me introduce here first our our new friend here, our new guest here, Aston Mike Aston. How you doing, brother? How's your day? How's life?
Uh, it's going great. It's awesome to be here. First time, my debut appearance, man. Always in good company, when I'm around Andreas. Love the channel, love your content. But above all, you got one of the best vocals, man. Like out of the
Yeah.
whole echelon and Hall of Fame of the MCU guys, definitely, man. The vocals got me, man. So thank you for letting me come here and talk about a movie that's as old as me.
Oh no. I'm happy you're here, Aston. You've been great over the MCU. I was so happy when we discussed you could come over here, and no, and plus you're still young. I'm very old. I mean, I was born in 1800s. Well, I was born in the 60s, in 1962 of October in my timeline. But anyway, anyway, that's another whole story here. But let's not leave our friend here, in the corner here. Jeff, brother, how you doing, sir?
I'm good, sir.
Yeah, how you doing? You're doing a lot of activity there, brother. What's going on?
I'm just walking around.
That's cool. That's good. I mean, look, you're getting fresh air, and that's good news. And I hope Dodger is doing good because I do.
Yeah, he's good. I'm getting him some treats right now.
Oh, awesome. Yes, yes. Anyway, so Aston, just give you just a quick rundown. I basically just do what Jeff does or Cyber does, in terms of the movie reviews. Like I go, scene to scene, stop, give you questions, and then we'll go from there. And I do some trailers to kind of break in for breaks, so kind of give you that rundown. So it's very simple, nothing overcomplicated. The only thing that will be different is towards the end after we give our rating. I'm going to do a non-spoiler review of Beetlejuice. Like just my thoughts and just say like I highly recommend the movie. I seen it yesterday and I was very surprised. But yeah, anyway. So the first thing before we do, step by step, let me start with you, Aston. Um, is Beetlejuice your favorite movie? And like, how did it affect you? Is this like your favorite thing?
Whose favorite movie is Beetlejuice?
Hey, I mean, I mean, some people like Beetlejuice. I
Um,
mean, let Aston talk, sir. How dare you?
um, Here's the thing. I slept with a lot of women who that is their favorite movie for some weird reason. I don't know if it's my generation, but like all things Tim Burton, every emo chick, goth chick was heavy into Tim Burton when I was coming up. So what I can say is it did play a part in like my childhood being a classic, being the classic that it is. Like everyone from my era, and definitely Jeff knows he can attest to this. Like that era, we are the reason edgelords exist, and this wasn't even like rated R. Like literally, you could go to the video store, rent this, and that's how I wound up watching this. And yeah, I remember it fondly. I remember the first time I rented it from the video store. I didn't know it was Michael Keaton till way later, way later. So yeah, my experience with Beetlejuice is that it's like I think it's the beginning of making that more like pushing the boundaries of humor and taking it places where a lot of people weren't used to going, and the way they mixed in the CGI with the puppeteering and everything. My first impression, I was blown away, and rewatching it for the purpose of appearing on Andreas the Pop Culture Guy's show, I reviewed it again, saw the whole thing back to front, did some deep dives, and some things just flew over my head. And like the humor's good, and it's a shame it took this long to get a sequel. In my opinion, I think this it could have easily even been a show on Netflix, like live action.
Mm,
So that's just
that's true. That's true. Yeah. It's yeah. I think you can make a show like that. I brought up the cartoon. Like, yeah. There's so many you could do with this. Jeff, sir, I know you have a strong opinion. After you interrupted my boy here, Aston. What's your opinion on Beetlejuice? It's your favorite or not? Tell me about your opinion on this film.
It's not my favorite. I don't have a favorite movie. Beetlejuice would not be my favorite movie. I hadn't watched it since I was a little kid, and I watched it like as a little kid
Yeah.
until today. So like this was my first watch in probably like I don't know, like 30 something years probably.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, it wasn't something that I ever picked up and watched again as like a teenager or something like that. You know, I watched it as a kid. So like, it holds up pretty well. You know, like it's totally an 80s movie. Like, you know, like you can't not miss the like, holy shit, I got a spider out here in the garage that actually eats lizards. There's a lizard in its web. It's a
Oh my
badass
God.
spider.
I don't want to
Anyway.
see that. Oh my
I
God.
don't want to see. I don't want to see it either. Anyways, but no. Yeah, I hadn't seen it in a long time. It still holds up. The digital effects and the special effects and stuff like that are kind of rudimentary. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Michael Keaton is hilarious in this movie. Like, he's hilarious. The movie's funny as shit. Winona Ryder is the best. She
Yeah.
was the bomb back in the '80s and the early '90s. Winona Ryder was the bomb. So she basically holds down the film. Like she's like, you know, the soul of the movie. You know, so she was dope. And yeah, it's a good movie. Very watchable and very entertaining and funny.
That's good. That's good. No, I completely understand where you're coming from. I yeah, well, first off, in my opinion, I think this movie holds up very well, as you say, Jeff. It's very like timeless. I mean, yeah, it's definitely the '80s film because of the yuppies. You know, Lydia's parents are very like, very like New Yorkers, and but at the same time, you get these really cool combinations of like 1950s, like music, and then you get the German expression from the 1920s. From there with the design of the ghost world and all that. So it's very timeless, and I mean, Danny Elfman's score is really great. I mean, that really elevates the timeless feel of it. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. I did already a top 10 Tim Burton films. Checked it out in my channel. This is my number 3 Burton film after Frankenweenie and Big Fish. Very great film. I mean, this is the film that make you realize this is Tim Burton. This is Tim Burton's style. His like characters, the outcast, with Winona Ryder's characters, that big cast, like his, other characters like Edward, Jack Skeleton, like all those characters, and this film just really has a great concept. Ghosts trying to get rid of the living, and they had to hire like a bio-exorcist to get rid of them. So it's a really interesting story of like the ghosts are being hunted by these living people. So that was really cool. But uh, get into the film. So we start with the very cool montage of the opening credits with Danny Elfman's score. Yes, Tom. Thank you. I was hoping you'd realize that. Yes, it's like an inverse Ghostbuster. Uh, that's something I love about this film. It's like that, which is so cool. Which we'll get into. Yeah, it's this. That's what I love about that film. It's such an inverse of Ghostbusters, and this is something that you could make this like a sequel to Ghostbusters. If you think about it, like they could done an inverse of that if they were more creative with the sequel. Anyway, so we got this montage of the film. of the credits of all the actors, and you got the music by Daly Effman. Great score, love it. Uh, Top tier music from him. And you think we're in the town, but then after we get into Tim Burton's name, it's revealed it's a model, like a town like model, like one of those like small miniatures. And because a spider comes up to the house that we're going to be focusing on the whole film, and and then we get introduced to Alec Baldwin's character Adam. He takes the spider out. Then we get introduced to his wife, played by Geena Davis, Barbara, and they're seeing very nice couple. They're in the house because they're doing vacation, and we get a couple of reveals like they're trying to get, they're here for vacation. There's a hint that they tried to start a family, but they can't, and especially with that conversation with that awful lady, I like, come on, Barbara, this is too big for a family. I was like, dude, stop being nosy. And like, she was gonna talk to Adam. It was like, hey Adam, I had these like yuppies from New York. They will pay a huge amount of money. And it's like, no, like, come on, dude. This woman needs to back off. You know. Anyway, that's what happened. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Dom, sorry, Dom has good points. Yeah, Gene and Alec were too cute for this world, and unfortunately, they will die in 15 minutes right now. So, anyway, Adam Barbara goes into town. Adam has to get something like for his like miniature model, and unfortunately, when they were driving, briefly we have a dog, and then unfortunately, the dog was in the way, so they crashed into the bridge, and then crashed down. They drowned, and then we don't know yet. We come back to the house, and they're like kind of like a little fuzzy, but then they realize they actually didn't make it from the crash, so they pretty much dead, which is really sad. And uh, so throughout the scene, you see a little bit of
Harvey.
yeah, sure, no problem. Uh, yes, Dom, I hate that dog too. I mean, I was hoping he would die. I hope the land, was it the sale person died, but no, we don't get that, unfortunately. We get innocent people dying for no reason. But anyway, um, so we see like the Maitlands that they're called. They see like the afterlife, which is called the Neverworld. They call it. If you've seen the cartoon, that's what it's called, the Neverworld. And they try to attempt to leave the house, but they cannot leave the house because they're pretty much dead. So they're pretty much stuck in the house. They see like the outside world of the afterlife. So they, I think Barb or Adam sees the sandworms, these huge like snake-like creatures, um, pretty much done by stop motion. So which that's essentially by Tim Burton because he wanted to feel like a 1950s special effects film. So that's why it looks very rough, Jeff. And as this way we had really good effects during the 80s, because of Star Wars. But that was always the intent for Tim Burton, that he wanted to feel like it was like a B movie, basically a 1950s B movie. Uh, so and then after when it's night, we go down. We see briefly our spiritual character, Beetlejuice. He's reading newspaper, and it's funny with the newspaper. They're talking about how was it 15% rise of the sandworms last year. That's very funny. And he goes to the business section. He sees, yeah, sees the business section. He sees the Maitlands. Like it's a please welcome the Maitlands, and he says, um, they're what is it? They're cute and dumb, and so he's gonna take advantage of these two, obviously, what is common. And then after that, we get introduced to the Deets family. So after Barbara and Adam slept overnight, they hear noise. The Deets family come in, pretty much moving into the house. We get introduced to Catherine O'Hara's character. What's her name? Yeah, Della. She's Della Dietz. She's a sculptor and a concept artist. Who is her sculpture is horrible. when we get into the her agent, and then we get into Charles Dietz, played by Jeffrey Jones. Um, who is a great actor, but he has a troubled background. Uh, I'm not gonna get into that, but if you know the background, it's really bad. So he's here. That's the one thing that's outdated for this film, but it doesn't tame the film. But anyway, you know what I mean. And then get into
I don't know what are you talking about? What happened? What did he do? Like, did he like? Is he a pedophile or something?
uh you won the lottery ticket, sir. Yes. Yes, he's a pedophile. He did something horrible back in the mid 2000s, and yeah, he's really bad.
He
So
was in Deadwood. I liked him in Deadwood. I don't care if he's a pedo or not. He's still good at Deadwood.
well, uh, yeah, he's in Devil, right? Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he's like he's the guy that does all the press, he's in the town press, like media or whatever, you know.
yeah, in the old west. Oh
Yeah,
man,
Deadwood,
yeah,
man.
yeah, I totally forgot about that. By the way, Deadwood, great show in HBO. Um, yeah, so so that's why. So if you know the background, like Jeff just guessed it, that's what happened. But anyway, who cares? He's funny in this film. I like him. It doesn't distract me with the film. I just bring that up, or I like.
Maybe he wasn't wearing his glasses that day with the little girl or whatever.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. I don't know about that.
Dude, I just love that guy in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, bro. Like
I
that's where I remember him fondly. So
Yeah, I know
love
he's
that
a
guy because he did that shit. But love him in Ferris Bueller, man. Like,
Oh my god. When he was talking to the phone and he thinks he's talking to the parent of Ferris Bueller or his girlfriend, and then it wasn't, and then the camera puts in, he's like, what I done? Oh my god. Love Ferris Bueller. Great film. Anyway, and then we meet our last person, the Dietz family, the goth girl, our huge crush of the 90s, Winona Ryder, who's played Lydia Dietz. Um, See her, she likes the house. How you say, the the main family sees this and they see the everything is coming all down. So after we see the family, we also get an introduction to Otto, the Gaian's interior design is in front of the family, and so they run around in the house, and Adam decided that we're ghosts. We can like trick them, like we can scare them. Typical haunted house stuff, right? As Dom said before, it's the inverse of Ghostbuster. So they tried to scare these yuppies in New York, but the thing is, they're not scared at all. They're so faced completely. Like the only thing they cared about was just like trying to redesign the house. Like you see, the mom spraying these cans, saying like, "Oh, this color could work on the wallpaper," and Otto like does the same thing. And so like the one scene here we get is the Geena Davis character pulling the face off and like and nothing. They didn't get scared off. And then after that, um, they tried to scare them again by having Adam's head to be chopped, like slashed off, and very brutal. I mean, for a preachy film, nothing happens, and we get Captain O'Hara telling the husband who wants to keep the was it the that room unchanged. She told her that, look, I'm gonna go insane, and I'm gonna take you with with me and my insanity. And of course, he agrees to change the whole house except for this one room. And
he folded like a cheap J.C. Penney shirt.
yeah, yeah, really awful shirt, man. Bad dresser, Charles. Uh, so that that shit was weird as heck growing up. As yeah, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, my god, that was weird. So
Sir,
was
look at
it?
your comments after you talk. That's the smart thing to do.
No one, sir. I like Dom's comment. He has really educational and like thoughtful comments that I can bring up. So no worry, Dom. I'm watching over you, sir. I'm just gonna know Jeff
When you're
completely.
moderating, you have to do everything. So you wait until after you're talking and your guests are talking, then you look at the comments.
All right, you're right, sir.
You're such an Iron Man. You expect everyone to be Iron Man, Jeff. We can't live up to your expectations, man. Like, why you got to just
No,
boycott us like
it's
this,
a,
man? Like,
it's
I'm
a
just
no
getting
brainer.
emotional now.
Don't be
Oh
salty,
my
Jeffy,
god.
baby. I still love you.
No. Jeff is right. He's professional here. He's right. But this is my channel. The beer lord himself is gonna comment on the comments, whatever. But anyway, Jeff is right. So let's focus here. So, Otto comments, "What's up in the attic?" So Adam has to run, um, up the attic. A great special effect of the headless like body. Really cool. Runs up in the attic, locks the door completely, and so yeah, we got them after they how you say it, Adam and how you say it, Barbara goes up and they see the kind of like the changes that the Deeds family does to the house, and after uh one of the friends, the salesperson that was bugging them in the beginning, uh gives Leah the keys, the skeleton key. If anyone knows what's a skeleton key, it opens all the doors in the house if you have that type of house.
I've got my own skeleton key. I use when I run into chicks that have what's it called? What? That's
Your
you
key
know what I'm talking
opens
about.
all the locks, baby. Just say it.
Yeah, the ones that have the chastity belt. The chastity belt or whatever. I use my skeleton key to get through that shit.
You got the master key, bro. It opens all
Yeah.
boxes, all the
See,
box.
see, I thought you were gonna say a skeleton key for the massage parlor. I was like,
No,
whoa,
no.
that'd be great.
No, the massage parlor just go home at some point. And they go they don't live at the massage parlor.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
can't go get a massage at like 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. There's nobody
Yeah.
there.
Jeff, you must come to Eastern Europe.
I just want my happy ending, baby. If I'm gonna get
Happy
a
ending.
massage, I want a happy ending at the end.
No.
I don't want a massage with no happy ending.
In
Oh,
Eastern Europe, they don't smile. They just slap you afterwards when you're done.
That's okay. I already been to the She-Hulk massage and spa, so
oh, please. You
Please,
like
Jeff.
the She-Hulk.
Dude, Jeff, you showed up here. You would fall in love like every half an hour with one of these tormented girls. You would be like fucking Denzel. You'd shave your head, walk around shirtless, looking
I
at
like
your
the really
watch.
fucking crazy ones. Yeah, they're good.
You'd be like the equalizer, bro. You would have like 5 of them in like a month, bro. You would burn your passport, bro. You would be telling me you got to hide me out from immigration, bro. Immigration, we're missing population. We need more people. We're not going to get rid of you, bro. You're stuck with us, man. So definitely, you would love it out here, man. Like, hey, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, guys. Sorry, my bad.
No. That's fine. We need a break, and that's really cool. So after the skeleton key, whatever you want to call it, Lydia goes up, tried to open the door. Um, Adam and Barbara is trying to hold the door. While they're holding the door, they get this like funny commercial of Beetlejuice. By the way, his name is not yet say yet. That's something we'll get after I stop here. About the name, because the whole like the marketing and pretty much the whole pop culture, we call him Beetlejuice, but in the film it's called Beetle Guys or something like that.
Yeah,
It's very
or
weird.
something. It's named after a star or something, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that, like Betelgeuse or something. It seemed
Yeah,
very German.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, that makes sense because it was weird when I was growing up. Like his name, like his name Beetlejuice, but when I guess because he cannot say it. Like the people had to say his name so that he can be out there. As we will get into in the film. So he does the commercial. He tells them that he's a bio-exorcist. He will help them get rid of the people that are in the house and all that. Very funny commercial, very cowboy western, type. So after that, um, they see that, and so Barbara and Adam sees the handbook, and they draw a door, and there they go into the afterlife. So let me stop there. Um, let me start with you, Aston. You're the guest here, and then after that is Jeff. Aston, what you thought about this first section? You love it, and of course, what you thought about the name Beetlejuice, not saying like the name right away.
Um, First, I think it's great the way they kind of they kind of like foreshadow like that he cannot actually tell you how to say his name. Like there is that
Yeah,
lore, demonic lore, like demons have to be summoned, ghosts have to be called, Ouija boards, all that. But to just resonate on the whole segment, like that intro, that sort of that picturesque America, like, because to me, that's how I was growing up picturing America, beautiful little Norman Rockwell paintings and the little town and the husband with the flannel shirt and the wife with the like nice dress. And like it opens, like I love the
She
music.
was a smoke
Yes,
show.
Geena Davis was a smoke show. She definitely was. She definitely was. So yeah, everyone had a crush on her. So I remember when I was watching it in the video store, when I rented it from the video store, that intro, like it does not foreshadow what's going to be coming down the line. So watching it again, knowing what's going to happen, like you just pick apart little things which just make sense. It's a sleepy town. The way he ignores the barber, the handbook, like that gets me so much now when I'm an older person. Like there's no, we see the handbook. They're already dead, bro. They're already dead. They're already dead. God. So I'm sitting back, and as it folds, and you go to the house, you see this beautiful house. Then you see the nosy, like you said it, like bro, I would have slammed the door in her face. Like it ain't your business. Get the hell off my property. Like Jeff's from a stand your ground state, so he wouldn't have those problems. He would just have like her in the crosshairs as she's coming up the driveway. Pow! But yes, I really didn't like the real estate agent. Um, the everything leading up, like him going to the hardware store, him doing the models, like you really kind of get a sense that these are really sweet people, and Burton does that real well. And the death, like that dog, oh man, like I usually don't hate dogs in movies, but that one, like I wish the dog catcher showed up, man, and threw him in like an asbestos bag or something, because it's like that's the worst way to go, bro. Like it was just such a sad miserable death. And I, I, yeah. Okay, one second. I got someone trying to tap in off cam. Okay, what is it? Say.
It was actually scripted originally a lot worse from what I read.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
yeah.
We're gonna talk about that at the end. We'll talk about that at the end. We're just dealing with the intro right now. Dom, the guy from the chat. Now you have a voice, listeners. Ugh. Will I ever regret it? Will I ever regret it? But yes, and moving on. So as it progresses to after the death, and they're in the room. I mean, the fact that Juno, that actress, is amazing. Like she's there smoking, and she got it like coming out the throat, man. Like I'm just saying, man. Like I love her. Like because we all have had like a principal like that, or someone who worked at school who looked just like her and acted like her. So the waiting room, like of course hell is going to be a waiting room, and like civil servants are going to be like all mashed up like people who are slaves to death because they try to kill themselves. Like I think I'm a little flat. Like I mean the punchlines, the humor, everything, it's he does such a good job. And even the CGI, which I thought would be such a big like a problem for me, wasn't, because I'm like, okay, I get what this is. It feels kind of pulpy, like those Jason and the Argonaut movies. Like that's it wasn't too over the top, and they didn't take themselves too seriously. And then, knowing they only had $1 million to maximize what they already had, like the acting is stellar. The one gripe I did have though was that Alec Baldwin and Geena in the intro, yes, they seem kind of sweet, but it felt a little paper and cardboardish a little bit. I wish, because we know they're very talented actors. Like, let Alec do Alec. Let him throw a zinger out. Like, it could have been a little bit better shutting down the real estate agent. But I love the intro. It really does set things up real well, and it surprises you in good ways as it progresses. The pacing, the soundtrack, Elfman, definitely, like, amazing work. Amazing work.
Thank you, Aston. Really great. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Jeff, your opinion on this first half?
Well, I mean, you and Aston have already covered a lot of it yourselves, but I really like Geena Davis. She's a throwback without question. She definitely was somebody that was like a massive sex symbol when I was younger, without question. League of Her Own and all that shit. Like that was like that was a totally watch all the time kind of film when that came out. The League of Her Own. You know what I'm saying? We watched that at my house all the time. We watched it as kids all the time. It was like a go-to. But yeah, so and then I didn't even realize that was Alec Baldwin until you guys
really?
started mentioning who it was. I forgot. I didn't know who the fuck it was. I'm like, who is that? I'm like, is that one of the Baldwin brothers? That's what I thought to myself at the end of the film. I'm like, is that one of the Baldwin brothers? It must be.
Yeah.
But I guess I forgot it was from 1988. But and Winona Ryder's great as Lydia. She's really good. When she says that one line where she's like, I can see you guys because I'm also like supernatural and like weird or whatever,
Strange and unusual. Yes.
Yes.
I love how you
Yeah.
picked that out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Love
that's a really good line. You know what I'm saying? Like really well said. She's great. It was really cool that the chick pulls up and gives her the key of the AE's car and shit, totally dope. That house is huge. It's like this massive house. So and then Beetlejuice, he's fucking hilarious, man. He's awesome. He's just like fucking all over the place. He's like a fucking drug addict. You know what I'm saying? Like, like he's like all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's funny as shit to think of Michael Keaton like doing that character and what they told him to be to like play that. You know what I'm saying? Like what did they say? Tell him to be to like be that character.
Like, just be a creep, like, because he turned it down. That's the craziest thing. Like, and I can't imagine anyone else but him playing Beetlejuice. And he originally turned it down, and Burton had to go back and do a second, like, pass at him, pause, and say, like, yo, you should do this. Believe me, you can do this character. Just, you could do this. And I'm like, the commercial's crazy, bro. The stuff he says is crazy. Jeff's right, bro. I forgot to mention that. You're right, Jeff. You're right, bro.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's This part is so great. I mean, so funny. I mean, I was so happy that Aston you brought up the strange as usual. That's such a funny line. My favorite line is the black room line. She say, "My world is a black room." It's like you say like full of
Yeah.
black room. Yeah, it's like so goth and it's like so funny. Oh my god. And then oh my god, when they were trying to turp out the house and like was the workers are trying to lift up that like sculpture and they almost killed the husband and the wife almost. It was so funny. It's just like, excuse me, my sculptures are very dangerous. I don't want to die like this. It's like wow. So anyway, so let's get back to it, and then after we get into the second half, I'll pull a trailer so we can have a little break here. Yes, I can chime it in. Yeah, of course. No spoil. This like Winona and this really Dom. Oh my god, Dom. Yeah, you and I are not gonna be friends if you're gonna be like this, sir. Anyway, no worry, Dom. Our friendship is gonna be still there, but not in the cyber world of live stream. Yes. Anyway, let's get back to it. So, speaking of funny scenes, so one thing that's really funny. So Adam and Barbara are going into the afterlife, and basically this afterlife is a corporate, very mundane office like. So basically, it's just like the real world of office, but just we're dead, and like we see funny people that unfortunately die. We see this one chubby guy or fat guy. got choked by a lobster, and like you see the lobster like sticking out from his neck, which is funny. And then you see this half lady chopped off, like the legs are moving, and like her just sitting down on the couch was funny. And then like you see the burned guy smoking, and it's like literally like you're dead because you're smoking. He still smokes, which is funny. And you got this pageant lady who's like the front desk secretary, right? And her death is like really dark. Like she just like cut her wrist. It's like whoa. And so they're waiting to like meet their caseworker named Juno, and played by the very classic actress from the like the golden age of Hollywood, Cindy. Let me Sylvie Cindy, great actress. She worked again, final time with Tim in Mars Attacks. She's the grandma in that. She's the one that helps the whole nation to defeat the Martians because of her old music. Anyway, so they're waiting and they get the cold, and as Aston and Jeff brought up, or I think Aston brought up the like the flat guy, and like I love how he's joking. He's like, "How I look," and he's like, "I'm flat," and he just goes to that like flat line. It's so funny, and so they're walking down, and no, right down, no, right down. You didn't break my heart. You break my heart in a very physical way. Anyway, uh, not emotionally. You're fine. Um, so they're walking down, and to get to the sixth door, and they go in. Well, by the way, they stop in this one window where the dead. Like this really cool scene where we get this dead people being exercised. If you've been exercised or exorcism, you're pretty much dead officially, and like you're gonna be in the souls room. So they go back, they go into this like random room they don't recognize until they realize that's the house that they were in. They got completely changed, and like they question themselves like how the hell that it got changed so quickly. They haven't been that gone, but they meet their case worker Juno, and she explains that you've been gone for 3 months. She say, and so everything is renovating, and they tell her that they're not, or they're very unhappy, and I like her reply is like, "Well, of course, you're dead," you know, and so they're talking, and she's trying to teach them how to scare them off by just doing simple things, and so they go up, they go to the attic, um, and then they briefly touch on Beetlejuice, but she stopped them because she doesn't want Beetlejuice to be involved because we get this very cool background that he used to work with her, and he went off his own to become a bio-exorcist person, but he's a very erratic person who doesn't work well with others, and so he's a very dangerous person. So she tells him not to get him involved with this situation. Do it by yourself. So that's what happened. And then we get this cool POV of a fly going into the model. He stops at the funeral, which is funny. And then we get, Beetlejuice's hands comes out and trying to lure the fly. It has this like chocolate bar, so he can eat the fly. And a very cool reference of the fly. If you know the movie, I just brought up in the chat the
He's
fly.
like, "Hey, come on,
Come on,
what's up?"
come on, what's up? Come on, and like he's he pulled his hands like here. He's like, come on, and he's like, eat, help me, and burps, and it's like, yep, he ate the fly. That's right, he eats the fly. He eats bugs, so get used to it because he's gonna eat a beetle later on. Anyway, he chops his head. When he talks to Leah. So yeah, the fly is dead. He's eaten. So after that, we see that Deet's father, Leah's father, is talking to this other guy he worked at New York about maybe buying the small town to make a profit. While he does that, uh, uh, Adam and Barbara are trying to terrorize Charles and Adele, but they're visible to them, so they they're just like they think they're like kids or something like that. But Lydia is able to see them, and they talk to her, and they're, she's like referencing Night of the Living Dead, and the reason, yes, the fly, yeah, getting busy, yeah, bug style, yeah, um, uh, so like she's talking to them, and the reason that she can see them is because, you know, despite that people cannot see them, she's strange and the usual, like meaning the people that are into like death and like, believe the kind of the supernatural, they can see them like fully if you're that type of person. So that's why Leah says, "I am the strange and the usual." So, and she's very excited for this moment because, um, they're really ghosts, and like she's very shocked about this. And she goes up to the attic, sees the model, and while she goes back down, they tell her to tell the parents that they're very scary ghouls and they want them out. And she tries to do that afterwards, but the mom doesn't believe her despite the pictures that she has as evidence. So they don't know what to do. So they think maybe try to get Beetlejuice, and then after they discuss that, they go upstairs, and then this flashing light comes out in the cemetery, and all of a sudden, Barbara, played by Geena Davis, says Beetlejuice, and they say it 3 times, and they're now in the model, and then they see the grave. Here lies Betelgeuse, that's Beetlejuice. As Aston said before, just like a demon or a ghoul, you have to summon that creature, not him. So that's why the name it's kind of different from really what we see in the marketing and all that, or what the characters
It's
say.
like Candyman, right? Did you watch Candyman?
Yes, but yes,
Candyman. So like I think I don't mean to interrupt, but like it just felt like such a callback to that classic horror thing. Like,
yeah. Yeah, and it was funny. After this movie, like Candyman becomes a movie in 1982, so it's very funny. Like I don't know if they copied this. Yeah, it's very much Candyman if you think hard how to summon the monster. So that's what happened. They dig out the grave, and what I like about this, you can still see that it's a model. Like they pull out the grass that's not grass, and like they cut down to the cardboard, and then they see the tomb, and then voila, we got our proper full appearance of Beetlejuice. And then here, this is so funny. This is where Jeff will like this. Our boy Beetlejuice is Jeff. Beetlejuice is Jeff. He's this horny pervert psycho person who is just like, as Jeff said before, very drug addict slash like crank up to 11 with coffee, and like he's talking to the Maitlands how to get rid of them, but he's not like understanding that to get rid of them is not killing them. And like he's constantly kissing Barbara twice, and like he's like so happy. He's like, "Oh my god, you picked me!" And it's like, "Are you making me cry?" And like, he's gonna kiss her again. It's like, what's he doing here? Like, I'm surprised, you know. And so it's so out there, and like, and they're trying to ask him like, "Are you?" Like, what's your qualification? And then he's like calms down. He sounds like more Michael Keaton, and he's like, "Oh well, I attended Juilliard Arts, and then he apparently went to Harvard law school, and then he went to the Black Plague, and then he read just The Exorcist 67 times, and he thinks it's funnier, and and like funny scene there, and then of course and then Adam say, "Are you? Can you be scary?" And he does, this like gesture, like honestly a sexual gesture, and like and he turns around and he's like, ah, like very scary thing. And then they're scared, and so like they're talking if either not to decide to like pull Beetlejuice in the real world. And while Beetlejuice kind of goes to the corner, I mean, he does his perfect thing. He just pulls Barbara's skirt and is like, "Ooh, and like, okay," I was like, okay. And then it's like, "Hey," and like After that, they're like, "We're leaving," and then all of a sudden he changed his shirt and his like wardrobe into like Adams, and then like he tells him that like come with him down whatever he was in, and after that like Gina, Barbara says home home home, and like they're back again in the real world, and of course Beetlejuice is angry. He knocks the Model Tree, and then we got our first F word. By the way, I did not know this was the F word until I actually see the actual version in YouTube, and because I seen Beetlejuice in TV. Because I do own Beetlejuice, but it's a VHS, so I don't have a DVD. So I only seen like the censored version in Freeform, or formerly ABC Family. And I did not know that was a curse word, and it's one of the best f bombs. He's like, "Nice fucking model," and he grabs his cock and it's like,
Uh-huh. That's classic. That's classic, yo.
That
yeah.
like that was like that is so memeified today. Like people use that as a GIF so bad. Like that
Oh
is
my
such a
god.
classic moment.
I know. It's like I can't believe like it's in the other version. If you see the Sesser one, and like he does do that, but like it's just you don't hear the f bomb. It's like, oh my god. So let me stop there. Let me ask you. The introduction of Beetlejuice. Jeff, what do you think about Beetlejuice here? Where like let me ask you. Do you know this movie was PG? Were you shocked that it was a PG movie?
No, I'm not shocked. It's 1988, so totally different cultural time period than where we're at now. But yeah, Beetlejuice, the whole deal with the introducing this part of the movies when they really establish the new family that's coming into the house. And it's dope that Lydia can talk to them as ghosts and all that. Like that connection really does a lot for the film, it's the Beetlejuice is just pure entertainment on screen. The going to the waiting room and going to the ghost office or whatever, like to meet their case agent, Juno and shit was dope as fuck. Juno is dope as fuck. There's just certain tropes of this movie that they just you could only do in the 80s or like the 90s, And I don't really have a lot on this one, but that's pretty much it. Just really funny. Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice is really funny. The interaction between him and other people is hilarious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like his interaction with Alec Baldwin's character and Geena Davis's character is hilarious. It was really well done, that scene. When they go down to the miniature part of the world, it was dope.
No, I agree. Yeah, it is really dope. Aston, your opinions on the introduction of Beetlejuice. Did you know this was PG when you grew up?
See, that's the thing. I couldn't believe it was PG, but like Jeff was saying, like the 80s gave us Weird Science, Breakfast Club, and a lot of stuff where like it can go left, right, the topics that we dealt with. So in my mind, it's like, yeah, I was surprised, but the one thing that kind of the way he was very gropey and stuff, and the way Alec Baldwin was such a doormat was just like that, like it was.
I wish he would.
Like
I
literally,
wish he would.
exactly. Like I'm already dead. What I got to lose? In my mind, it was. And the thing is, I know Keaton can riff and do really good stuff, like improv wise. A lot of like I've heard other actors say stuff
But
about
all
him.
that makeup.
But like the one thing that I didn't get, they didn't do a bad breath joke. They didn't like nothing like that when they met him or something. Like nobody. I feel it was wasted, like wasted humor that could have gone there. And this middle part where we're at now is this is where I started feeling like, okay, the humor is good. There's something there, but you're not pushing it over the edge. You know what I mean? The same way it's like there's scary stuff, but it's not really scary enough, which is it turns out to be like Burton's genre.
It feels like they're not picking a lane.
Yeah, I felt like at times I'm like, oh, you should have taken this joke a little further, or the scary stuff. But that fucking model part, like, bro, like that stuck with me. Like That's crazy, man. Everyone does that crotch grab. I think that permeated into pop culture so bad. Like, and Michael Jackson was probably like, "Yo, he took that from me. I invented the crotch grab." you
Oh
know.
my god.
But
Oh
yeah,
man, no way.
but yeah, I thought it was awesome, and the way Keaton breathes life into something with all the makeup, like finally getting the reveal of Beetlejuice was
Mhm.
pretty cool. It was pretty cool finally. But what was it like? We only saw him like 45 minutes into the movie. Like it you know what I mean? It wasn't early on, so we really had to wait to see him show up, and he delivers, bro. He delivers. Like, you're smiling, you're cackling, you're laughing the whole time he's on camera. So he earned it. He earned it. So that's me punching out.
Awesome. Yeah, great answers. Yeah, this is the part where the movie really kicks in. Having Beetlejuice here, in full, which is great because this, and then we'll get into the dinner scene, is where I think a lot of people remember this film because it's so iconic. Before we do that, let's take a break here. You guys take a like 5 break. I'm gonna put a trailer here. It's under 1 minute and 26 minutes. So let me show this and get back to the movie shortly. Okay, let me first do that cancellation. Let's see. All right.
Three.
From the director of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Adam and Barbara are
Ghosts.
What's the good of being a ghost if you can't frighten people away?
their house is being haunted by the living,
Maybe the house could use a little remodeling.
and they can't scare them into leaving.
They're dead. It's a little late to be neurotic.
So they're calling on Beetlejuice,
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice!
who's no ordinary ghost.
You don't want his help.
Can you be scary?
What do you think of this?
Now, the party's over,
You want somebody out of the house? I want to get somebody out of your house.
but the fun has just begun.
It's showtime. Learn to throw your voice, fool your friends, fun and party.
Not bad.
This is amazing.
Want a cigarette?
Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, yeah, here I come, baby.
He's guaranteed to put some life
Attention, keyword shoppers.
in your afterlife. Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice.
I'm the ghost with the most, babe.
Awesome. Great trailer there. Oh, hold on. I want Jeff to put here. Okay, back to echo cancellation. Echo. All right. So great trailer. Uh, man, showtime, folks. Anyway, so let's get back to it. So after pulling now Beetlejuice in the world, they go back. They go back to the drawing board. They have a plan. So we go into this dinner scene where the Dietz family are hosting these basically yuppies from New York. One that is the mother's agent for the sculpture. He's very cold and he thinks that her sculpture is crap as usual. And I had to agree. I don't know what the hell is that sculpture. I mean, it's plain. I don't know. Very weird sculpture. So they're having dinner, and honestly, the conversation goes into the ghost topic, and Leah's, ooh, yes, I know, yeah. Um, the dinner scene gets into the ghost discussion. Leah's mentioning about the friends that she's talking to, with them, and the mom wants to change the subject. Before she says a word, she starts singing. And one of the great things about the film is the music by Harry Belafonte.
Elfman, yeah.
Belafonte, baby.
Belafonte, yeah.
Actually, thank you, Harry Belafonte. Of course, this one is the Dale Bolt song, which is fantastic. And which we also hear his other song early in the film, which I didn't realize. I think Adam is a big fan of this artist, and so you hear his other music when they were going into the town. And he was listening to one of his songs. So he used this song, and they're singing, and so they're making the guest people dancing, and it's a very fun scene. I'll bring up the comics now. Dom, you brought up the scene. Yeah, I remember the dinner scene. Yeah, this is the scene people remember. I mean, it's funny, and then it turns into scary after we get into the shrimps, and like when they sit down, and then the shrimp's hands come. It's like, oh my god! There's no way I'm gonna eat shrimps. So so the shrimps grab them, and so you think these yuppies from New York get scary, but no. Leah comes tells them that they're not scared. They want to come down to see them, and that's what happened. And so they're talking, and of course, the dad thinks he can like explore this house into like a what do you call it? Like a like a
Theme park.
like a theme park. Yeah, that's what you say, right? Like a theme park, a scout station, like excuse me, like the Halloween Horror Nights in Universal, like kind of like that for ghosts, and they're talking about it, but the agent wants evidence, so they're like kind of quiet, so they leave, and so the mom they're kind of frustrated, so they told her where they're at. They're in the attic. They go up, and they see the attic. The dad sees the model of the miniature models of the town, and then here Otto, the friend, sees or Arthur, yeah, Arthur, or whatever his name is, like the chubby guy. He sees the handbook for the deceased, and so he takes it. So they go down, and then obviously, our heroes are heading in the window, and the Beetlejuice is like laughing, and it's like, "Oh, you're really going to spookers," and like he throws his cigarette, and it's like he's gonna, he's the truth is loose now. So he goes in, he turns into Beale Snake, and he literally attacks them very harshly, and they get scared here very quickly. And he sees Lydia, but then thankfully, Barbara says the name 3 times, Beetlejuice, and so he's sent back into the miniature town. And then after that, the Maitland family, they went up. They're kind of discussing, and then they see Beetlejuice angry at him, and he decides that he doesn't no longer want to work here. And after that, Beetlejuice is like telling them, it's like, I don't want to deal with you deadbeats. And he tells them that I'm a little interested with Edgar, the pole girl, obviously, Leah. And Geena Davis character grabs Beetlejuice, and he spikes him. And then we get this really cool quote from was a Sudden Impact. If you don't know Derry Harry film, this is the fourth film, Sudden Impact, where the great line, make my day. Here he says, make my millennia, and he laughs. And then he's like, he's getting like a little excited. He wants like, come on, I want to like Jeff, like he wants to go to a massage parlor. And instead of massage parlor, he goes into this whorehouse.
Dante's Inferno, if I recall. I think the name was Dante's Inferno. Like,
yeah,
callback.
Yeah, it's so funny, and I never understood that until I was like, oh yeah, this is like a whorehouse. This is like a sex house. I was like, whoa, for a PG movie, like forget about the F bomb. Like we're used to F bombs in movies, like where you are like PG or PG-13, whatever. But this one, I was like, whoa, that's like, I can't believe they just a little tantrum here. I was in Ramon, Ramon's channel, Blues and Chill, and he was doing a Beetlejuice kind of topic here. And he brought up this funny thing about his family. One of his daughters obviously they're little kids. They don't understand the whorehouse. She thinks it's called the fun house, like the whorehouse, the fun house, and I was like, wow, it's so funny. It's like they didn't like now. I just think of this house calling it the fun house. So this is the
It
fun
is the
house.
fun house, Dre. Be honest.
Yeah, but it was so funny and cute to hear the kids say that this is a fun house, and it's such a like offbeat comedy film where you see this sex house in this.
Young and old on the same page, bro. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Give a shout out to Ramon there. That was a great show. I actually call in and the Booster 2 live stream there on Friday. So if you want to check out me talking to Ramon about Beetlejuice 2, it was about theories, like what's gonna happen in the movie and all that. I was there for like 15, 20 minutes. It was a good show. Ramon was really great. He did like a cocktail for him and his wife. Really great show. I was in the comment section and I briefly called in and it was really fun. It was the first time calling in for like a live stream. So Ramon, if you see this, thank you, brother. That was a fun show. Your kids are funny. Fun house. Let's rock on. So and so if you get confused why, like I say, like Beetlejuice thanked Adam and it wasn't Adam, it was actually Juno. Juno distract Beetlejuice for the funhouse for her to like talk to the Maitlands, and she's very upset with them. We got this running gag of the football team. They're pretty much all dead, and they think that Juno is the coach, and she's so aggravated about this. It's like, no, your coach is alive. You're all dead. Go. I have this paperwork to do. Again, this office, regime of the afterlife. So she's talking to her, and she brought up, the handbook being with Otto, the fat guy, and being photographed. She cannot have them proof that the assistant is in the afterlife. So she tells them to get the handbook, get the evidence, and then that's it. So why we get this? Leah wants to die. So we get this very dramatic thing of what is it? Of trying to write this like suicide note to her family and all that. She goes up to the attic, and then she sees Beetlejuice, and like she's trying like talking to him, and she's trying to trick her to like say the name 3 times. We jump back into Adam and Barbara. They like form into monster faces for Juno so that they can actually properly scale. So that's what happened, and they start walking back to their attic. So while that happened, Beetlejuice is playing charade with Lelia to like get the name out. And so after like a couple of charades, like she got the name Beetlejuice. It's very funny. It's like Beale breakfast, Beale orange, Beetlejuice, and it's like yes. 2 times, and she's very smart. She knows that was the snake from the other day. That's Beetlejuice, and so thank God she knows that. And he's trying to like pursue her to say the name, but then Barbara and Adam comes in, and she got scared, and then he falls out from the whorehouse or the fun house, if I call it, and she tells her, Adam. And Barbara talks to her that being dead is not good. It's not fun, and so they decided to wants to keep her and the family stay in the house, like for good. And so they tried to like keep them in the house instead of scaring them off. So let me stop there. What do you thought about this section? From the dinner scene to pretty much Adam and Barbara talking to Leah about not being dead is good, not good. Starting with you, Aston.
I love the office scene with Juno where we actually get the football team coach, like the way she's handling them. It's like Juno to me, I would say is like one of the highlights, and Otho, R.I.P. to both of them. They're both legends.
Yep.
For me, Juno, the way she handled it, the showing of the bureaucracy and like just like that part was very well done. But by this point in the movie, like now seeing that I'm rewatching it and stuff, like I see that thing that I touched on earlier. It's like the humor doesn't go as far as it could. It's good. It's very well written, but the horror doesn't, like the horror really doesn't scare you. You know what I mean? Like enough, because they deal with adult stuff. That's the one thing about this, because I, I'm surprised it got made, because in my mind it's like, okay, this is supposed to be something, because clearly they're targeting a younger audience. The gags, like Winona Ryder's character is so clearly, made and designed to appeal to the younger demographic, which is why she really resonated with generations of girls. Like so many girls grew up loving Beetlejuice, like despite him being a creepazoid and wanting to like marry a 13-year-old and stuff like that, but still. And yeah, it at this point I was already like, okay, I want to see more, let's say, Beetlejuice doing the stuff he does best. Her doing the suicide thing, I felt like this is kind of like, this is very dark, and we're not giving that part of the story. In my opinion, they didn't give it enough resonance, because yeah, she's kind of being ignored, but I wish they would have done a little bit more with her character and put a little bit more into the script, because at this point it already was like, oh, this stuff's good, but it could be a little bit better. So there was a flatness to it in my mind. But all in all, it was well produced. The CGI looks great. That football team and the way Juno's just frustrated with it, like, just, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I always laugh when they ask, "Where's the bathroom?" It's like, "Bathroom, get out of here!" It's like she tries to them back, and then oh my god, the end joke was so funny when they say like, "Coach, I don't think we make it alive," and it's like, "How do you know?" It's like funny how she says that. It's so funny. Oh god, I love Juno. Yeah, I agree with you, Aston. She's like another character a lot of people talk about. It's like she's so funny. Jeff, brother, what do you talk about the dinner scene? The Dale Bolt sequence to here with Lydia almost getting Beetlejuice out again.
Well, you guys have already talked about it. I mean, it's very entertaining, and it's funny, and I don't really have much else to say about it besides that. It's it's a very watchable film, and I enjoyed these passages of the movie. They held my attention without question, but I don't have a lot of substantive comments about any of the characters or anything like that, really. In regards to the film, really, just that I guess it's the story of the movie is very simplistic, and everything that revolves right out of the house. So the whole story is set in the house, which is interesting. To see a film set right in one place like that. I thought that was pretty neat. That basically the whole film is shot right in one location. So that's neat. You don't see that very much with films. But that's pretty much all I got, sir.
Okay. Let me touch on the Dale boat song. Fantastic scene. I mean, that's this and the ending of the film, which we're getting into, is a very fantastic sequence. I mean, the song is so fantastic. I prefer the jump in the line song that's in the final sequence, the final scene that ends the film. But I mean, this song is fantastic. The Dale boat song is great. I mean, they used this for the trailer for the new movie. Actually, if you don't know, they actually used the Dale as the music tune for the trailers, which is so great. Like, it really added the dark, haunted atmosphere of Beetlejuice when the sequel was announced, and it was really great. And it's in the sequel, the Dale it's if you see the trailer, it's a bunch of the kids from the choir of the church sings that song, and it's really great. It's really, really fun, and it was a great way to incorporate the song instead of just like lazily use, like license the music. Instead, they did it in a very creative way in the sequel and then the marketing, which is great. let me put one more trailer, because we're as Jeff said before, this movie is very simple. The plot is great. It's in the house, so we are going into the finale right now. So let me put the trailer, the other trailer, and then we are gonna head into the showtime, baby. So right now.
Adam and Barbara are recently deceased. They were happy to haunt in peace until the new residents moved in. To rid themselves of these pesky pests, they call on the ghost world's leading bio-exorcist.
It's showtime. Attention, Kmart shoppers. I'm back. You want somebody out of the house? I want to get somebody out here. But I want out. For good.
You two have really screwed up. I want Beetlejuice out of the picture. You guys really are dead.
Nightshades promise, spirits drive. To the living, let now the dead,
Shall we?
come alive.
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't.
Yes, that's true. I don't do 2 nights in a show anymore as well. Like, it was crazy. Like, sometimes I go overboard. I drink too much pina coladas, cocktails, martinis. Whenever I try and time travel in dimensions, it's crazy. So I only do one at a time now. So
I got to see you drunk, man. I got to see you drunk. Me and Jeff would love to see you get drunk, bro, because we know Jeff is the Mr. Chow of this group, man. This was Hangover, he's Mr. Chow. But did you die? Did you die? Like that's Jeff all the way through, bro. No mercy. No mercy.
oh my god. I like your impression. It's like it sounded like a Middle Eastern chef. It's like, excuse me, I'm saying I'm doing it really badly. I sound Latino like Jeff. It's like, excuse me, I'm a little drunk here. And I love, these chicks, these Asian chicks in the massage parlor. Now I sound like I'm a high person talking about the life and death of Jeff, true knowledge himself, and his life of massage parlor. Anyway, anyway, I'm sorry, folks, for that tangent. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, hey, but yeah. So, yep. So we're in the finale, basically. So when Leah talks to the maintenance, all of a sudden, her dad brings up a couple people to bring the miniature models down, and they see they're trying to do like what do you call it, like a sun, like a red suns, like a spiritual thing where they summon the ghosts. Like if you've seen like the movie the Ouija board, like it's kind of like that, and it's so like they're trying to do that to like bring in Barbara and Adam like to them, and Otto can do that because the hemp book. So he has the hemp book, and they need to get personal things from them to like summon them, and the mom realized that she has the wedding dresses, which is not good, and so they do their A-sons now, and they start bringing them back in the spirit world. And while they're bringing in, slowly, Adam and Barbara start to decay, and so it's really bad. And so, unfortunately, Leah has no choice to bring in Beetlejuice, and this is what I mean. Another iconic scene because of the suit. So that's something we have to bring up. He doesn't wear the iconic striped suit. He wears like very different, like baggy clothes, and here he wears his iconic striped, like suit. was you seeing right there in the background, Aston, and right here in mine, he's wearing, like right, yeah, right there you can see the tie here. His iconic suit, and he tells Leah that he has to get married so that he can help. That's the deal. And it was funny. He's like, he doesn't make the rules here. He just like does his piggy noise, like that. It's like, wow, okay, you're really creepy, Beetlejuice. And you see him getting ready for the name, and Leah says Beetlejuice. He does this, and then like Beetlejuice, and then Beetlejuice, and then he say the iconic line. I think a lot of us remember. It's showtime, and it is. And then he starts summoning into the miniature, and he has this like cut over hat. It's so bizarre. And he say, obviously you see the trailers now. He say, Kmart sharpers. If you don't know what's Kmart, which is hilarious, if you're like me or Aston, we know Kmart. It's very unfortunate what happened to them, but yeah, it's great to hear Kmart shoppers. And he helps Leah to stop the spell or the ritual, and he throws out the two yuppies from New York up the roof, where it was so funny. Like he has like the hammers, like if you played that, like the hammer and hit the ring is like that. It was so funny. And then he comes out and he's like, thank you, and he talks about the I know do the two show babe, and then he's like, nope, and he throws a cigarette, and unfortunately Otto was trying to leave. He does this and takes his like suit from the black and red into this like blue suit. It was so funny. And then he hugs. Yeah, it was so funny. Like I remember that scene. That was my favorite scene from this movie. He's like he does and like and then like he's like, I feel violated, and like he runs off, and and the light, the almost like carnival light.
Yeah, just followed him around. Like, yeah, like Keaton's like he's a beast, man. And Otto, amazing. I just wish they used him more. For real. Those guys are such great actors.
Yeah, he's really great. He was very funny. Yeah, he works again with Tim Burton. He's in the Planet of the Apes film, that remake he did. He's one of the apes there. If you've seen the 2001 with Mark Wahlberg. Not a good Tim Burton film. Don't watch it. Anyway, just watch the reboot trilogy of Caesar. Anyway, so he hugs, Beetlejuice hugs the family. He says, "You welcome into the house," and he gives them snakes. And so then we get the wedding, and he talks about when he witnesses to see the wedding. So he forces Lydia's parents to see this. He makes the stepmom sculptures alive, and this really cool stop motion animation, and they come into life and they grab them, and then he summons the priest, the demon priest, whatever you want to call it, and then he starts doing the wedding, and then we get this funny scene where Beetlejuice talking about the decision of getting married, and it's so funny. Yes, here we go. Here, let me do this here. So he's compensated the idea to getting married, which he say yes, and so while he's the wedding is starting, the maintenance family starts to getting back to their life, which is good. And so slowly they say Beetlejuice, but every time they try to say it, well, first up, Adam's teeth comes out, and he tries to say the name, but then Beetlejuice is tapping, and then we get this funny scene of him tapping dance of the teeth, and he's like scrown, and then he sends Adam to the miniature town, and then Barbara say twice the name, and very funny scene where he's trying to sip her mouth, and then he does this football, baseball, throw it, and then bam, he gets the solid, and then he sends her away into the desert land where the sandworms are at. And so while how to say the wedding is getting in process, the rings, and he's like, oh, the rings, oh my god, the rings. And so he's like looking at his like costume and all that, and like has a uh one and another, like these gross out bugs and like snakes are coming out from his jacket, and then you get the finger, which was so like what he say
It
like
meant nothing to me. Like that line was just crazy. Like I've never been married before. Then he gets the ring and says she meant absolutely nothing to me. Like wow.
I know, that was so funny. I was like, what? It's like, look, she never meant nothing to me. Like, not like he puts the ring on her and it's like, wow. I was
That
like,
hit Jeff deep. I could tell, man. As a divorcee, he can't even look at the screen right now. He's like, God damn it! I wish I got the Beetlejuice treatment.
yeah, he wants to be the bio-exorcist of the massage parlor.
Of ex-wives, he would exercise ex-wives, and not with like a Bible and cross. Like he would exercise them, stretch them out like Pilates.
Yeah, that's true. And so, well, he puts the ring. He almost got away with it until Adam drives the miniature car into his foot, and then the sandworm comes out in the roof, and then he gets eaten by the sandworm into the Neverworld. So now that, so pretty much everyone saves the day, everyone's safe, and then we cut into the ending. It seems like Leah um is now like a stepdaughter to the Maitland's family, which is great. So they're like a family now, the ghost and Lydia, and the fact that if she had a good grade on one of the like the science class or math class, whatever she did, that's where we get another song from Harry Belafonte, right? That's the name.
Belafonte.
Belafonte. Thank you. Belafonte, jump in the line. This is my favorite song from him. Great iconic scene. People know about this ending scene. She starts seeing the jump in the line, jump in the line, da, 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 want to, and like great catchy song. I listen to it all the time, and like even the sequel now, it got me into the mood to hearing that song again, and it sees her up to the sky, and then we cut back to Beetlejuice. Now he's in the waiting room, which is funny, and this is the funny scene here. It's like he touches the leg of the dead woman that's cut in half, and like she like pushes him out, and then sees in the other room, and he sees like this one, I guess, voodoo dark magic guy, and the shrieking head person, and he sees his like ticket, and it's gonna be so many years, and then he sees his other friend here that is 4. He's trying to trick this person, so he's like, hey, hi, you did that, you did a good work, and then he'd say, oh hey, there's Elvis, hey, and he switches the ticket, and yeah, and for his punishment for doing that, he gets his head shrink, and it's very funny, and then that's when we end. After that, we cut back to Leah, and we see like the last portion of the dance of jumping the line, and then cut to the film, and that's it. So, yeah, a lot to say. Jeff, let me start with you. The finale. What you thought about the finale? Do you like it? And just tell me your rating of the film.
When Beetlejuice gives the shrunken head dude the ticket that does the switch on him for the ticket, and he's like small talking him and shit, like to do it, and then he's like, "Hey Elvis, you know what I'm saying, King, what's up?" or whatever.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
That shit is hilarious. That it is hilarious.
Oh my god.
And he throws it's like 5 billion, place 5 billion or whatever.
Yeah.
He drops that shit in the guy's lap or whatever.
Yeah. It's so funny. Yeah,
it's the funniest shit ever.
Yeah, and then he gets his head shrink because of it, and it's like, wow. And in his last line, he's like, "Oh, it looks my hair looks not that bad." It's like wow.
He's like, somebody wants me to do an underwear commercial or whatever tomorrow or some shit, or tonight or something. That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
My rating for it is I'll give it a I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for what it is in 1988. It's an 8 out of 10, and it's a really good movie. Very, like I said, very funny. The little priest guy that officiates the wedding is awesome. He's dope, and I would like to have seen the two families living with each other more. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's still all good. It's still a solid film, and like, it's very well paced across the board. You know what I'm saying? Like, the pacing of it is very good. It's only an hour and 22 minutes long.
Yeah, it is. Which is good. I mean, I wish movies now can have that rating. Which we do get, but not for like blockbuster films. It's like now 2 hours. It's like, so yeah. And that's one thing. The new movie, it's like it's not too long either. Like it's under like 1 hour, which is great. Aston, tell me, my brother, your thoughts on the final, this finale, the big third and final act of Beetlejuice, and your rating of the film, sir.
Okay, the final act to me, it all comes to it all comes together pretty well. The way they kind of dispatch all of the, let's say, the antagonists when it comes to the agent, the guy's boss from back in the city. Um, and it does it in such a way that you still get your laughs, you still get a few chuckles, but the one thing that did like kind of take me back was the way like the whole marriage thing, and she was a red bride. Like, it was funny and stuff, but in my head I'm like, I'm really hoping that they kind of figured a way to make all of this stuff, like, I hope they made a lot of fun of it in the second one. Because I think Winona Ryder's in it, right? I just got to ask, is she in
Yeah.
it? Okay,
Yeah,
good. I just
yeah.
needed to make sure she was in it, because from what I saw and heard, they said, "Oh, we got the people that needed to come back came back." So I'm like, okay, you got to have her in it. Um, all in all, I feel just like what Jeff said. The pacing's great all the way through. You never feel there's a slow moment. Um, for me, like, it ends well. My rating is going to be a 6.5, which seems, it might seem harsh, but knowing how funny Keaton is, and the staff they had there, from Otto to Jimmy, or was it James? No, Jones, right? Jones, right? The guy who played her father.
Yeah, Charles. Yeah, Jeffrey Jones is the actor's name.
Yeah, and then there's like even Winona. I mean, okay. To personally, I didn't like her performance, but then in my head, it's like they probably didn't give these guys too much to work with, because all these actors are good. They're good at comedy. Like, they're good at, from what I've heard, improv, and that's why I couldn't give this a 7, because it's like the talent you had there, that they couldn't do a little bit more with it. Because at the end, here's the thing, I can't recommend this to like my friends who have kids. You get what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure a 12-year-old seeing it, like, there's a lot of stuff that might not really be there for an 11. Like, and we saw this as kids, me and Jeff. So it's like, maybe there was a way the culture and the society was different back then, that we kind of went over it. But I'm looking at it now, and it's like, yo, maybe this is the reason, like, I was crying at like 10 years old and asking my dad, what happens when you die? Like, like, I don't know. Maybe this movie opened that door. Like, maybe this is the reason Ren and Stimpy and certain things were a little more acceptable, for our generation, because I don't see this going too well with kids. But then at the same time, I think a lot of parents, or like even grown-ups, would be like, damn, that, like, it's funny, but they would expect more. So I'm hoping, like, and you could give us a little bit about the new one, what you thought of the second one, because from what I heard, people said they really knocked it out of the park, and they made that decision, whereas this first one is like, it's a little too clean to be an adult thing or a true horror, but then it's not, kiddie enough to be a kid's thing, because of the suicide and, the way they deal with death, and the jokes, which are clearly for adults. I mean, the handbook on death. Like, I mean, come on, a handbook, and like all people who commit suicide become civil servants. Like, come on, bro. Like, no kid is ever gonna get that. So it's like, yeah, that's me punching out. Like, I like that. I like that. I would recommend it, like to adults, to check it out because you'll see the beginning of a lot of things that would be picked up and borrowed from Burton moving forward.
No, 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 I agree. Aston really like it. Yeah. So my rating, and I will jump into my reviews of the sequel. Non-spoiler review. Let me remind people that I'm not gonna give spoils. I will do that later in the week, and maybe in a short or something like that, or one of the MCU shows, whatever. Um, yeah, I'll give this a 9 out of 10. This is a strong Tim Burton film. I mean, I say before the beginning, this is my third favorite Burton film in his filmography. It's really Burton's style and then, like his baby, and I think you can totally see that. And it's so well made. I mean, the projection style is great. The story is really great. As Dom said before, it's the inverse of Ghostbusters. That's probably why I love it so much. Music from Daily Elfman is top tier. I mean, the performance here is really great. The cast is amazing. I mean, come on, Keaton, Captain O'Hara, Baldwin, and Geena Davis are fantastic here. So really great. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. It's one of the best '80s films, and it's my favorite when I grew up. So let me before we head out, let me briefly talk about Beetlejuice, non-spoiler review. So no worries, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just gonna give my general thoughts about the sequel. So I saw it yesterday, and I was very. This was my most anticipated 2024 film. I think right after Deadpool versus Wolverine last July, and I can confirm this is a great film. Now, I did an Instagram post. I say that it's a great film. It's not as good as the original. It cannot beat the original. Unfortunately, it cannot beat the energy or the this surprise film that like it should never been made, but like it did, and I you can never beat this original. But it's a really great sequel. Like it's really fun. It's a true return form for Tim Burton. If you didn't like his Disney like remake or like his stuff lately from Alice in Wonderland into Dumbo, this is the movie. It's fantastic. Like this is the movie that you really feel like the Tim Burton is Tim Burton, and it's really great. Winona Ryder is fantastic. She's the main focus of the sequel, so that's really great. Jenna Ortega is playing the daughter. She's really great as well. Michael Keaton is fantastic. He still feels like Beetlejuice, and that's really great. The film do address where the Maitlands is like they do kind of like close out their story, and they also address something with the dad as well because the dad is Von Malik. They address that, so no worries. But yeah, very shocking. So yeah, I fairly enjoyed the sequel. It was really fun. Aston, you brought up how this movie is a kids film, but it's not. But and it's also a scary film, but it's not that far. This sequel is full on gross out like horror bent kind of film this time around. It's not a kid film for the sequel. Like my mom didn't like the film because it was so grossed out. I can vouch that she liked things about the film, like the music sequence of the sequel is really great. Like they still nailed that, so that was really great. um this film doesn't do that like this what do you call it, distorted hit. Like they keep a lot of like the first film, like they don't reference too much the first film. Like I brought up the Dale boat song, the dinner scene. They reference it, but they did it in a very creative way by using the church choir to sing that instead of just using the license song to like hear it like in a record or something like that. They you know they don't hit you like too much of the first film, which is great. So that's the good thing about the sequel. They don't hit you so much of like, oh look, well, you remember the first film? Like they don't do that. So that was the great thing about the sequel. So I highly recommend watching the film. I gave the sequel a 8 out of 10. Um, I thought that was a good rating. And in terms of my ranking of the Tim Burton film, I thought it was six after Edward Scissorhands, the first film. Freaking Winnie in my list. If I know the people's lists are different, and Big Fish. So that's how it is. So I mean, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that non-spoiler review. I will do like a short. I hope I got start shorts soon, and I will do a spoiler review. So let me do plugs. Aston, could you mind sending a link? Oh,
Of course.
I
No worries. In a sec. I will right now. Sorry.
no, I think I have it here in my search. But yeah, excuse me. I just want to thank my panelists here. They've been really great. All right, I think I got your thing here. So let me share it. Oh, there you go. I got your .com. I got your channel as well, your YouTube channel. So let me do the share here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. You're such a champ. I just wanted to add, because I mentioned it at the top of the show, in the original script, Beetlejuice is actually meant to be Arabic, and the whole plot revolved around him trying to get rid of the Maitlands and just marrying Lydia. Like, it was like there was no other dead couple. It was literally just meant to be Beetlejuice trying to find a bride. And I'm so glad they went in a different direction because,
Yeah,
yikes, would that be canceled today?
yeah, I know. Yeah, I heard about that one. Oh, another trivia. The original actor for Beetlejuice wasn't Michael Keaton, as you were saying before, Aston, that he turned down. The one that Tim Burton wanted was Sammy Davis Jr. as Beetlejuice. He wanted him to be Beetlejuice, and I always found that very funny. It was like this little like black man being Beetlejuice. It's like whoa. By the way, Sammy Davis is a great artist. I mean, I love his music.
Awesome. Well, I'll just do my plugs real
Yep.
quick. Firstly, definitely thank you, Andreas, for letting me participate. Shout out to Jeff for also being here. Love anytime that I'm on stream with you guys. And there's my website. I'm gonna be streaming Halo, Left for Dead, like mostly like older titles that I thoroughly enjoy. I'm also gonna be putting up reviews and retrospectives in that vein. I'll be putting out my music as well. I'm trying to get my first single out and line up all the promotion so I can get it to radio on time, either at the end of this month or somewhere in the middle of October leading up to Halloween. So please, if you guys want to support or you like me talking stuff, please leave something in the comments of this video. Like and subscribe to Andreas the Pop Culture Guys channel. And, if you're feeling my stuff, please, check out my website. There's going to be more stuff there from my blog and my YouTube channel. Super appreciate it. This was a great time, man. Thank you so much, Andreas.
Yeah, no problem. I'm so happy you came here, Aston. It was really great. You're the MVP here tonight. Thank you. And Dom, I wanted to say Dom was the MVP as well. He was great. No matter the drama or the heartbreak, our friendship is still strong. That's all that matters tonight. So thank you, Aston. And I'm very excited to see your content. Definitely will tune. Like I hopefully I'll stay check on your channel and see, and I hopefully I can comment on your stream and all that. Just hopefully I'm not too busy. It's always tough to support everyone like at one time. It's so tough. But yes. So anyway, let's get into Jeff here, MCU Bleeding Edge here. Let me talk here. Tomorrow, Monday report. Me and Jeff are going to review Batman Cape Crusader, the final two episodes. So we're wrapping up that storyline, and then right here we got the MCU Bleeding Edge here. We got the live here. So we got the Monday report tomorrow. So check us on that. Recently, Jeff, how was the top 10 MCU movies rank?
Good. It went well.
Oh my god, I need to check this. Matt was there. Oh god. Oh man, yeah. Well, you were there, Aston. I know Raph was there. Raph was doing good. Oh man, I'm getting jealous now. Anyway, anyway, so what else? Wednesday, 9/11. I know 9/11. No worries. I know it's gonna be a tragic day, but let's have fun or sort of have fun on 9/11. Uh, that day we're gonna view our second Christopher Nolan Batman film. That's The Dark Knight, a 2008 film, of course starring Christian Bale, and of course the Joker himself, the late great Heath Ledger. So we're going to talk about that. Jeff is going to moderate that film. If anyone knows, I'm going to moderate one of the Dark Knight films. That's the Rises, Dark Knight Rises, in later in the month or in October. So, and then Jeff, Friday they have the Rings of Power. Live stream view. Check that out. They're going to view episode 5 there live. So check out that. And yeah, that's where we're at. Anything else to say, Jeff, about anything upcoming?
No, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay. Anything for Saturday? Like any live stream you're going to do?
Another one of those Marvel shows. The one for rank the next set of MCU films that are coming out after Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. Okay, I definitely want to definitely join that. Hopefully, yes, I could do that. Anyway,
Okay.
So thank you. Yeah, because there's a lot of movies I think they could come out. So anyway, in 2 weeks I will do another live stream view. Aston, I hope you can join me again next time in 2 weeks, and of course Jeff will come back as well. And hopefully Cyber. Speaking of Cyber, if anyone knows, Cyber was very ill tonight, so he wasn't he was been ill a little bit over the weekend, so he could have come tonight, which was unfortunate. No, I think he really liked this film. Hopefully in the MCU Bleeding Edge we'll review Beetlejuice over there in the nearest future. We'll see, but yeah, but hopefully he saw the show and maybe enjoyed it. But yeah, so yeah, thank you everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this Beetlejuice review. I hope you guys will see Beetlejuice. It was very fun. Yeah, and we're out of here. Peace out. 1, 2, 3.